You mentioned something, the financial pressures, like when you got into the league and you started making money. If you read some of the stats, it's like I'm gonna butcher the stat, but basically a lot of NFL players are financially under pressure or go broke, and so it's a widely talked about topic. But I think a lot of fans don't because like normally the response I see on Twitter and on YouTube and stuff is like fans are like, these guys are making millions, like how are they going broke, like what are they spending their money on? So I think there's a disconnect between like what fans see and then what you as players experience. And obviously like everyone on an individual basis is different, but if you could kind of just touch on just your experience with money, kind of how you handled it, and then some of the financial pressures that maybe a lot of fans don't see.
Well, first of all, I didn't really care about the money when I got in the league because I didn't know. I thought $1 million was you're set for life because everybody harped upon you gonna make a million, you'll get a million, you're gonna make a million. So I thought like you get a million, but they don't tell you about the roaches. They don't tell you about the rats. They don't tell you about the new family members. They don't tell you about people you trust that'll steal from you. That's the part of the thing that they don't see. So when people say, and I told somebody this, and this is like the best logic I can say. They always say that person get broke. Okay, when I got drafted, we got drafted. We made it. When I went broke, you got broke. You messed up. None of them be like, oh, we messed up. We should have been on your side. We should have showed you how to do this. We shouldn't have asked you for money here. We shouldn't have put so much burden on this one guy at 20 years old, 21 years old, 22 years old. Go back to me, you're 22, bro, and think about somebody gave you that kind of money and you have a mom that's making $13,000 a year. You have a sister that has 3 kids and she doesn't have a man in the house. You have a brother that you want to take up. You have all this family, and all you know is people. So you did it. You made it. And that was the book back in the day. The book back in the day, oh, you got to keep it real. And they always put in your head when you're doing something, oh, now you can take care of your family. Like, but I don't really have a family yet because family is what come out me, not what I came out of. And that's what people don't understand. Like my family are my kids now. I have 4 daughters. So that is my family. I shouldn't have to reach back to help you. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to be doing this and doing this. Some people have the extensive of family that are good at money or know how to handle stuff. They have a good job. They do their own thing. And some of us don't. Some of us have family that, we did this together, I threw the ball to you when you was 10, so it's a lot of stuff. Like, and also when you're playing, not saying all guys, some of us are kind of like, I got to worry about what's on the field. I can't worry about who's taking care of my money. He should be okay with this. This person should be okay with this. And then you'll have somebody managing you or doing some stuff that you don't know about. And then after your career is over with, you have to start picking back up because, okay, let's say if you got a wife, or let's say if you got certain people that used to live a certain way and they don't want to stop living that way. But you're like, we need to do this. It takes a lot of humbling after football, especially when you have an injury and it's very quick. You don't know what's going on. You have to deal with the depression. You have to deal with, how am I going to pay for this? It's different when you have checks coming in. You can sit there and save all the money you want and think you can live like this. You might not know about property taxes. You might not know about, the financing of your house. You might not know because the person that probably handled it wasn't telling you all this, because a lot of people don't set you up for after football. They set you up so they can keep their job. If that makes sense. So I'm not going to tell him that he can do this because he ain't going to need me. Oh, I got to pay his bills, so I got to make sure all his bills paid, but I don't got to tell him about this because I don't want to worry about it. So a lot of people try to protect you, but they trying to protect their investment, which is their job. So a lot of times you don't have that. And then some people, they have escape plans. I don't care. I'm gonna let him spend whatever he want, and I'm just gonna take this a little bit out, and I'll be good. There's so many diverse ways that people can be got, and a lot of times, if you look at guys that have made bad investments, a lot of us didn't even have to invest in stuff. We invested because we were trying to help people out, or people had us so scared that we were going to go broke that we'll take $1 million, $2 million and borrow money that we really didn't have to borrow. And if you just adjust how you live, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million will be enough for you to live the rest of your life. But you have to make that adjustment. Now, but if you get so used to being, I want this, instead of being comfortable, like you have to normalize yourself after you get done with football. You really do.